Hello YouTube, it's me, Vdeogamer, and this is the How to Draw Video Game Characters tutorial, and today I will be drawing Ash Ketchum from the Pokemon TV show. He's not really in the games or nothing. But anyway, supplies-wise, you're going to need a sketchbook or copy paper. You can use pencil with an eraser, mechanical pencil for details, permanent markers for outlines, and colored pencils if you want to color your drawing. So, without further ado, let the drawing begin. So, first thing, in drawing my combined drawing of Ash and Pikachu, I decided to lay out a basic sketch outline so I would know where both characters were at. What this does is this helps me keep everything sort of in proportion. It lets me know what I'm going to be doing, and it just helps out a lot. If you can get good at placing a base sketch, you can start getting some really interesting drawings going. And starting on Ash, we're going to first start on his eyes. Basically, they're just half ovals with smaller half ovals inside of them, and then his eyebrows are right on top of that as just sort of angled down triangles. This might take you a while to get it right just because of the style that the character of Ash uses, but he's still pretty awesome. Add in his small nose and his gigantic mouth right below that. I might have made the mouth too big in this, but still, it's Ash Ketchum, and I think I did okay on it. Putting his eyebrows as angled down triangles, of course. Whenever you're starting out, make sure you're doing light sketch lines at first. That way, if you make a mistake, you can simply erase it and fix it, because you won't be able to erase it and fix it so easily if it's very dark. So add in his hair, just beneath his hat line, I guess. And on his cheeks, he has these little marks, I guess. I don't know. It's sort of like, I don't know what they're for. They just make Ash look like Ash. And add on a large half circle on his head, basically. And draw out from that sort of a hat bill, and that's his hat right there. His Season 1 hat. Thank you very much, because Season 1 of Pokemon was truly the best season. And draw out his spikes of hair coming off from the side of his head, just like this. Outline his eyes a bit better, and in his eyes, color in half of the inner eye black, and then leave part of it white. As you can see, that makes him look a whole lot better. Just really brings out his character. Once you think you've got everything just the way you want it on Ash's face, you can start outlining the remainder of the outlines on his mouth, eyes, nose, and just sort of get it all wrapped up. And on his hat, he has this awesome looking symbol that probably isn't Pokemon related whatsoever. Still, it's awesome. His neck is like super skinny. I guess that's just the anime style for it. And I don't think I'm going to color in his hair with a whole bunch of shading and stuff, so I just decided to mark it as coloring it black with my pencil for later use. Now we're going to move on to Ash's arm, which is sort of long in this picture, or it appears to be long. I think I got it the right size. But yeah, just draw his arm up above his head, because what I planned to do was I planned to have Ash with his arm above his head holding a Pokeball and just looking epic, I guess. It's not actually anything from the series, probably. I mean, he holds a Pokeball up for like the opening of like the first season or something. But yeah, I don't know if this exact pose probably isn't in it whatsoever. Just draw that in. And for now, we're not going to get too super detailed because we will do detail later. So just sort of draw what would be a hand and then draw a ball inside that. And then sort of add on a bit of the Pokeball details. And then Ash has these unique fingerless gloves that he always wears in the first season. They're green. That's not really important right now, but yeah. And then start working on the outline of his coat. Just a simple outline of it. And the coat sort of goes over his chest a bit, but he doesn't actually have it buttoned up in this picture, I guess. So it just sort of hangs loosely across his body. And then draw his other fist sort of at a angle on the side. And the reason I did this was because I had planned to have Pikachu on his arm / shoulder area, sort of. And since I'm not going to draw them at the same time, this kind of meant I had to plan ahead. So, my reason for starting out with the base sketch line. And then on the shirt, I decided to add in some just cloth wrinkles, just to make it seem more loose. I guess it's not really loose so much as it is just more realistic. You guys are probably sick of my voice by now, aren't you? I just sound so monotone sometimes. I'm really sorry about that. Sorry. I don't know, maybe I'll add music in for this one. Or the next one. I don't know. Listen to music while you're watching me draw. Because I don't put music in my tutorials because everybody has their own preference. But if you think I need music in the tutorials again, you should leave a comment below on what you think. And Ash's pants aren't really all that baggy. They're sort of, I wouldn't say tight, but they fit him better than what most people wear today, I guess. And they just follow the line of his leg a lot better than most pants. Just draw those in. At the bottom he has it's like they're rolled up a bit, I guess. I don't know. And Ash's shoes aren't all that long whatsoever. I mean, they're just sort of rounded off if you really look at them. Now we're going to work a bit more on the details of this shoe. The way we're going to do this is we're going to add in 2 lines going down the front of the shoe, and that sort of represents just sort of a detail, I don't know. And then draw the base of the shoe just as a line going down all along the bottom of it. Add in a little mark to show where the arch is, and then in the top left of the shoe he has this red circle symbol, I guess. And even though his shoes don't seem Pokemon related whatsoever, it's just awesome. Same for his belt, he just has this random triangle on it. And then on his coat he has a yellow trim on it, just on the bottom. Now it's time for us to outline our drawing of Ash Ketchum. Outlining with a Sharpie gives you a much cleaner drawing than you ever would have had with a normal regular pencil. It also helps us to just make it look a whole lot better and sort of professional in a way. And it also allows us to color without losing our outline. So, first off on coloring Ash, I chose to take whatever color it may be, for this instance it's blue, for his pants, and just colored lightly all across it. And what I plan to do is add in a whole bunch of different types of shading techniques just to make his coat and everything else seem pretty awesome. I don't know. Shading just adds a whole nother sense of depth to your drawing, and it makes it just that much more appealing to a viewer, I guess. So just take a light shade of whatever color it may be and color across the entire surface as evenly as possible. Color in the Pokeball a bit. And only parts of Ash's hat are red. Like, it's not the entire thing that's red. And for the places that are white, I decided to add in a bit of gray, just so it wasn't so empty seeming. And then add in a little bit of a skin color across Ash's body. Gotta get rid of all these pauses. Color in green for his glove. His belt's brown. Add in the skin colors for his face. Color in his hair, just a simple solid black, pretty much. Don't have to do too much there. But wherever Pikachu happens to be on Ash, don't color in anything there. Don't outline it. Don't color it, don't do anything to that space, because if you do, then that means you will not have a very easy time drawing Pikachu in on the drawing. Now, time for the shading of awesome. Alright, so to do shading on any drawing, basically all you need to do is take a color that's darker than the color you used for your base coat color. For the blue, just choose a darker blue. It's pretty simple to understand. And then what you need to do is choose a lighting source in the drawing, sort of. I chose to have my lighting source sort of at the top right area. And what that means is that all my shadows are going to be to the bottom left. You put all your shadows the opposite of the light source. And what this does is this really gives a sense that there is, in fact, a light source in the drawing. And it makes it look almost three-dimensional. That's a cool thing about drawing, is that if you get really good at it, you can start making your drawings look like they sort of pop off the page. The same goes for every single color on Ash's body. Just take a darker color and shade to the bottom right, and this will just give it a sense of dimension, make it seem 3D. You've already heard me say that, so I'm just gonna stop talking for a bit and let you watch the drawing. On Ash's shirt, as you can see, I didn't do a whole bunch of dark colors on it. I left a little bit of light area, and that's sort of like a highlight to the rest of the shirt. And where there are creases in the fabric, I colored darker along those. Finish up your shading on Ash. And that pretty much wraps up our drawing of Ash Ketchum. If there's anything else you want to add to it, or a different version of Ash you want to draw, you can. They're pretty much all the same, but yeah, I mean, there's different variations of them throughout each season. I just chose this one because it's sort of important to me, because he's awesome in this season. Anyway, if you want to see how to draw Pikachu, you should click the top link, or if you just want to skip to the end and finish the drawing, click the bottom link.